Welcome everybody to the Red G Foxx channel. Thank you so much for tuning into this, as today we talk about one of a fan favorite, one of my all-time favorites, and we know it's huge because on IMDb it is 8.2. We've talked about how there's less than a dozen that are 8.0 or higher out of the 136 episodes. So that tells you how great this episode is. And that is Lamont, Is That You?
Holy smoke.
What is it? This one is so classic. In the summary, basically we get this. Rollo and Lamont are just going out after hanging out at the movies. They slip into a club to get something to drink. Turns out it is a gay club called the Gay Blade. Bubba sees it while he's out on a date. He runs over there, peeks inside, and he's like, oh, smokes. Now he jumps to conclusions. He goes home to tell Fred. Then Fred's like, no. He tries to cover for it, and he goes, we got to go check this out. Him and Bubba go there, and that leads to more confusion when Rollo sees them. It is a very funny episode, a very good situational sitcom. You know, obviously situational comedy, and this is at its height. When you think of comedies, situational comedies, Three's Company is full of them. Sanford and Son is full of them. This is one of the best ones with it. So that is it on the summary. We know what to expect. Right off the bat, let's get to fun facts. In this one, this episode is based off a comedy play all about a man who finds out that his son is gay in that play. The ironic thing is that in the film version, they made a film of that play. It is called Norman, Is That You? That is starring Red Foxx in the role played by Lou Jacoby. So in the play, right when it was out on, I believe, Broadway, somewhere out there, Norman, Is That You? Lou Jacoby, this is a picture of him here, he played the lead guy in it. Now, the ironic thing is, if you recognize him, he would come on years later in, I want to say season 5, in the Sanford and Son. He played the Fred Sanford type character where they're imitating him. So it's just so wild how that happens, where you go, hey, Red Foxx played Lou Jacoby's character in a movie, and now Lou Jacoby comes and plays Red Fox's character, Fred Sanford, in a different version of him on his own show. That is so crazy. No idea until I actually got involved in this channel. I love finding out these facts. These are things you didn't learn back in the day. But yes, that is a cool, fun fact about that. This is also the first time in series history where anyone uses the hand gesture. Yeah, we get that. You can see it here right now when we're show a clip of it. Bubba does it. Fred does it. You know, even Lamont. Remember, Lamont's the first one to do it when he's talking with Rollo. So there's a lot of interesting things. And this was one of the best fun facts I can find out on it. Those two are both really good. So that is it on fun facts. You know, I love to find more things, but was unable to. Let's get to familiar faces. All right, familiar faces. This is one I always personally love because I love finding out where these people have been from, or are they even doing it to this day? Some of them are. We talked about that on our last video. Go give a look where we said what character. It's a new series we're doing every so often about Sanford and Son actors who played characters in the show, one time or big time, who are still alive and with us today. So go see that. You'll be surprised. Some of them are still acting to this very day. Familiar faces, we have Cordello DeMilo. She plays Lucille Pinckney. She's the one who's going on a date. You can see her right here with Bubba. And she's also, as we talk about other shows she's been in, she was in another episode of Sanford and Son. Most fans will recognize her when Fred tries to make Lamont feel guilty from going out with Julio when they're going to go to Tijuana. And when they come back, he's on a date with her. Remember? If you didn't have a heart attack, she would have gave you one. When Lamont says that, I love that. So she's been in Sanford and Son. She's been in a movie called Blackenstein, obviously a play on Frankenstein. Another movie called Dolomite, big time movie. Pirates of Silicon Valley, that was in 1999. So it's so, like I said, it's so cool to see people who are doing stuff from the 70s still in 1999 was inside movies or shows. Sadly though, just 4 years after that, she did pass away in 2003. So she's no longer with us. Next, we got Jeannie Bell. She played Judy Ann Fisher, who we see right here at the end. Yes, and she also was in the Beverly Hillbillies 5 different times. Another one real popular with our channel, who we've seen people, and that is Policewoman. We've covered that before, a lot of people in that one. Starsky and Hutch, that as well. She did a movie called The Choir Boys in 1977. That is her last performance I can find on her. After 1977, she never did anything else. Maybe she quit because she did not pass away. Maybe she just gave up acting. We know how that goes. So that is it with familiar faces and fun facts. Before we get to our breakdown, I just want to give a shout out to our members. Join the great Foxes. Power to the Foxes.
Power to the Foxes.
Yes, we have one member right now. Feel free to join at any time. Just so you know, you will get little badges every time you comment. It'll show icons from all famous characters of Sanford and Son. We have different reactions to comments where you can put in anytime you comment from just specific Sanford and Son. Members only videos, all sorts of perks. So please, if you feel like joining, go ahead. And that is Jim Offit. You will get shout outs too, right? Anybody, your name will be out there shouting out for the videos. But like I said, I do appreciate, thank you very much, Jim, and anyone else who wants to join. Huge appreciation for the hard work I put in. I would love to try to get bigger people in our membership, because once we do, we can go to the live shows, live show members only chat, where we don't have to worry about anyone else jumping in. It's always, who cares? It's a good benefit. Let's get on to it, and that is with our breakdown.
Fred, the name of this place was the Gay Blade.
All right, so we see Lamont and Rollo walking down the street, and Lamont is not happy, right? He just said, man, they were at a skin flick for 5 hours, and he's pissed. And Rollo's like, why do we have to stay and watch it twice? So, you know, he knows Lamont's full of crap. But they need to go in and get something to drink. Right before they do, though, Lamont's like, I should have known better. Why should he have known better about watching the name? Let's hear the title of this movie, Lamont.
But listen, I should have known better than to go see a flick with a title like Deep Lips.
Yeah, I love that. Remember that was Deep Lips? That was, remember, a play on Deep Throat. Remember the guy about Nixon, all the undercover stuff? So that was, that. I love when the show would do tie-ins. If you don't know history, right, if you're a younger generation, you might be like, what does that even mean? But either way, great line right there by Lamont. So they go inside. They're like, hey, let's go check this place out. They go inside, and Bubba sees it. He's walking with a date, as we talked about earlier. He runs in, and I love when he looks in, he's all, holy smokes. And then Lucille's like, what are you talking about? He's like, I got to go see a friend. Either way, he's going to take off, and he's got to go tell Fred. He's going to jump to conclusions. But then they come out, and Lamont is pissed because he's like, you know, bro, let's hear what Lamont has to say about this.
Well, you batting 1,000 tonight, Rollo.
Yeah, I love that. You betting 1,000 tonight. Now, this is where I start to go, wait, what? I know if you watch this episode on TV, there's at least 2 minutes cut out of this episode. They're trying to fit with all the political messages nowadays. You know, they're kind of ruining comedy. You can't say this, you can't say that. People are offended. Everybody has been offended since the history of time. And they attack from skin color to hair to sexuality, anything. But that's what comedy's based off of. So it's frustrating. But if you got the DVDs, you know it. I got all the DVDs. You can see they're all here, so I don't miss a beat. But I've never seen it on streaming actually cut out. And that was what shocked me. I was like, wait, what? When I watched these on Amazon, the last time I watched this episode on Amazon, probably over a year ago, they had everything in it. Now, I haven't watched it on Amazon since, but on Peacock, I watched it while I was doing this for this episode, just to continue to watch it. You know, I love it. And in there, they cut out the part where after he says, when he makes the line right there where he's like, you batting 1,000, and he's all, come on. He says, this is the first time I've ever been to a bar where all the brothers were sisters, or all the brothers were sisters. So he makes, that's completely removed. You don't even see Rollo say, what are we talking? You know, you cut all of it. They cut like a good 15 to 20 seconds out. Then they cut to Fred. I mean, it's a sharp cut. And I noticed it right away. I said, hey, wait a minute. They cut stuff. Fred and Bubba are talking. And at the point where he's saying, he's telling, hey, Fred, remember he saw him. He lets him know, hey, I saw Lamont. I saw Rollo. And they were coming out of this sissy bar. And I'm surprised they let him call it sissy bar. But he's like, I saw him come out of a sissy bar. And that's when he's all, even Lamont did say it earlier. He did the thing right there. Let's look at it right now.
Into a bar where everybody's... Oh, what? A sissy bar.
I never get tired of that. We still use it. You'll see it in the comment section. But either way, after that, originally he says, yeah, it's called the Gay Blade. He tells him the name of the place. Well, in Peacock, they cut it out after he says it's the Gay Blade. Fred, you know, Bubba goes, you know what gay means, don't you? And Fred's all, yeah, happy. You know, they took that out. Why? I have no clue. Comment below if you know, why would they take that out? Why is saying that's the original meaning of gay was happy? And I just don't get why they did that. So either way, he's doing it. And now Fred has to defend Lamont. He's like doing everything he can to step up for Lamont, and he's saying, you know what, sometimes him and Rollo, they go in there, they kind of chill, hang out, get a drink, and have a good laugh, you know, and he comes home and tells them all about it. And Bubba's like, no, they weren't just, no, this is something different. He said, and he's trying to break it to Fred to let him know, and Fred's like defending Lamont. And then Lamont comes home, and it just gets quiet.
I ain't want to hear nothing about that.
Hey, Bubba.
Yeah, you know, it's like, we all know that, where you're talking and then you kind of stop. Sometimes you'll try to play it off, but they don't even play it off. And he's like, what's going on here? So Fred's like, hey, can we talk? And he's giving him the 3rd degree, and Lamont's like, what is this? And he's like, let's talk, son. And he gets Bubba out. I love when he slams the door. Let's see that. I absolutely love when Bubba tries to sneak into the door to listen, and then what Fred does.
Well, guess Bubba stumbled on something out there in the yard.
Bubba must have tripped on something. But now Fred is like, hey, telling him, why aren't you out with Judy? Why are you going out with Rollo? And you can see right now, he's trying to say, why are you going out with Rollo? What is there? Is there a reason? He's trying to get his son to admit to something. I think by this stage, he might have already suspected it. That's why I'm like, you got to know it was a mistake. Fred should have just came out and said it. But either way, he's going back and forth, not saying it, but hinting, and Lamont's getting kind of annoyed by it. He's like, why don't you go out with Judy Ann? And he's like, Judy Ann, women are nothing but pests, you know, and you can't trust them. And he lists all these things. And that's got Fred being suspicious. He's like, I'm hitting the hay. Good night, Dad, or Pop. And then when he goes, and they cut this out. It's not in Peacock. When he's like, he looks at him, he still walks the same. You know, he doesn't say anything about the walk. They cut that out. So you're just like, man, I had no clue. At least on Peacock, because I'd always seen it on Amazon uncut. So now we get it's sad because it's the last appearance of Dr. Caldwell. You know, we've already seen him twice. The last time was with Gus, the homeless man, in season 2. Now we got him season 3, and this is his last appearance. And Fred gets a little payback on him. We talked about that in Guests in the Yard, that we said we would get to it one day, and this is it, where he gets a little revenge on Dr. Caldwell. But he brings him in, and the whole time he meets him, remember when he meets him outside of his house and talks to him about what's going on, and he wants him to check Lamont, and they go in, completely removed. To my shock, I was like, wait a minute, that's not how, when we're fans like us, where we've seen it a bunch, we're like, we know the next scene, and that ain't the next scene, right? So they just start where he's in the house, and then Lamont comes in, he's like, hey, I didn't hear you come in, Dr. Caldwell, and Fred's doing his fake breathing, trying to get it, let's go, and then I love, let's see what Fred's response is when Lamont says that.
I didn't hear you come in, Dr. Caldwell.
Oh, good morning, son.
Yeah, I had a slight heart attack last night.
How do you have a slight heart attack? Yeah, I had a slight heart attack. I'm not going to go to the hospital. You know, I'll just chill and call Dr. Caldwell, right? The guy who works at the post office. I'm not putting my faith and trust in him. He's going to hurt the average age expectancy. You know what I'm saying. Anyways, let's move on. So he comes in, and now he's like, hey, he gets up and he's like, come on, son. And he's all, I don't need to be checked out. And he's like, come on, sit down. You get your back checked because you hurt your back. I'll go make breakfast. And he goes in there. And that's when Dr. Caldwell is giving him 3rd degree. Do you like having a woman around the house? Who does this? Do you do the women chores? And Lamont's like, what? And he's totally grilling him, trying to find out. So he's getting the facts that, hey, his dad, you know, Lamont does a lot of the work a woman does. His dad doesn't do it. He liked having his mom around, but, you know, it's back and forth. And he's not getting a real read on it. And then Lamont's like, well, how's my back? And he's all, and let's see what he says.
His back's fine, Mr. Sanford.
Yeah, my discs are all in order.
Oh, that's good. That's good news to know your discs in order.
I never get tired of that one as well. I'll comment that anytime I see Dr. Caldwell, like on a different YouTube channel, where I'm like, all my discs are in order. When he says your discs are in order, from just that, how are you going to tell? And then I love Lamont when he says it too. All my discs are in order. And Fred's like, yeah, that's good. That's good that your discs are in order. Great. I mean, so simple and great dialogue. So with that point, now he's like, I'm going to go outside. I'm going to pay, talk to him, and don't go away. So they go outside, and now he's talking. He's like, one hand he is, other hand he isn't. One hand he is. It's contradiction, and I can't figure it out. And he's all, what are you saying? And then we get the famous Dr. Caldwell line.
Do you know?
The one thing I do know is, I don't know.
I don't know. And that is when we finally get, Fred's already paid him $10 for no results. Fred paid him another $10 for no results with Gus when he said, I don't know if his legs are broken. Isn't that true? Yes, I don't know. So now he goes and he's all I got is 5. And Dr. Caldwell's like, well, where's my other 5? What does Fred say?
Well, when can I get the other 5?
I don't know.
Yes, I love that. He does it now. He's like, I don't know. And he never has to pay him the $5. And unfortunately, we never see Dr. Caldwell again. If you ever are curious, we did an entire episode based on the actor who played Dr. Caldwell. Go search it on Friday Fun Facts in our playlist. It's in there. If you ever want to know anything about the actor, his career, what he did, and all his appearances, we break down what he did on Sanford and Son and show his clips. It's a very fun thing. I enjoy doing that. And that's what we try to do on this channel. Bring things that no other channel bring. No, I mean, some people will say, well, no one else cares. I beg to differ. We got subscribers for people who do care, and we hope to continue to get big. And help us out. If you see anything you like on here, or you love Sanford and Son, there will always be something, even if you don't like me, that revolves around Sanford and Son. So please subscribe today. So with that, let's get back to it. So he takes off, and Fred goes in, and now he's trying to talk to Lamont. Lamont's like, hey, I'm going out tonight. And he's like, you're going out with who? And he's all, with Rollo again. So now he goes up to get ready, and he's like, dang it. He's getting Bubba. He's going to go meet Bubba, remember? And he told him he was going to, before he takes off, he's like, I'm going to go meet Bubba. We're going to do this all-night creature feature, you know, for 99 cents. So each movie is 33 cents of horror. You can't beat that. So Lamont's like, wait, you're going out? You're for sure, you're going out. And he's like, yeah, and for sure you're going out with Rollo. They both have different agendas. Now he knows Fred's leaving. He can use the house. And Fred's going, hey, if he's going with Rollo, I can catch him. So he takes off, and as he goes outside, in comes Rollo walking up, and he's like, that's when he says, you know, why are you always hanging out with my son? And he's all, who, Lamont? And he's all, yeah, why are you always going to hang out with him? And what does Rollo say? One of the best lines. We all know it. We all love it. We still got to see it.
Why you always going out with my son?
Lamont, that's my man.
That's so good. And then Fred, yo man, he's so scared. He's like, yeah, man, we tight. Me and Mom, we brothers, we tight. We like that. So Fred takes off, and he's panicked, and he goes to meet Bubba at the Gay Blade. Meanwhile, Rollo comes in, and Lamont already set it up. He's putting up the candles. He's got he's fast. He's got Judy Ann coming over, and he's like, what? You don't want? He's like, man, I am done with your skin flicks. And who wouldn't be? I'd rather have Judy Ann come over 10 out of 10 times. So he's like, all right, brother. You know, he's playing cool, and he takes off. And Lamont knows he's got his date coming. So now we cut to Fred and Bubba, who walk to the Gay Blade, probably slow, because we know Rollo's going to catch up to him. And they're going to go in, and they put the glasses on, right? He's all, and I love Bubba. He's all, I don't want to say it because I think that clip will be copyrighted, but I can't show it. But when he's like, I feel kind of weird with the dark glasses right here. And Fred's all, hey, don't worry. He said, you'll fit right inside. You know, that you don't have to worry about that being here, Bubba. But surprisingly, they cut this scene out when they go to walk in and the two guys walk out. He's all, don't smile at nobody. Don't smile at nobody. And when he goes to go in, they don't show him. When he's all, ciao, and Bubba makes that big, here's the picture right there. Bubba makes that big smile. And then Fred's all, didn't I say don't smile at nobody? They cut that whole scene out. So this, usually Sanford and Son is like 25, 24 minutes with the credits added. It's usually 23 without. This whole episode with the credits, opening, closing, is like 22 something, 22 minutes. So they cut out like nearly two minutes at least. And it's frustrating. It's very frustrating because if you're someone who just watched this, you're missing some of the funniest scenes. That is one of the best lines. That is one where the episode comes up, everyone says, didn't I tell you don't smile at nobody? We know that scene, and now they're trying to get rid of it. I don't see what's so offensive. It's not like they portrayed the guys as bad or something. So it's comedy. It's comedy, man. And nothing was harmful in this episode, yet it still gets pulled out. That's what's sad today. Censorship, right? So Lamont, so when they end up going in there, and that's when you see Rollo coming off screen, and he's like, when he peeks in there, I love Rollo. Let's show Rollo's reaction. It's one of my favorite when Rollo reacts right here.
Oh, please.
So now Lamont's there, and Rollo comes in. He's like, "Hey, dude, those two old dudes." And remember, he's like, they were in there in the Gay Blade. He's all, and Lamont's now it's so funny. The roles are reversed. Lamont's like, now he has to defend his dad. He's like, nah, man, no. And he says the same thing. Sometimes they go to the bar, they hang out, and they get a few laughs, come back and share with. It's almost identical, which is so funny. And that's when he's like, they weren't at the bar, they were tucked away in a dark corner or in the back corner. And that's when he's like. And he goes, and they were wearing dark glasses. Let's see it right here. Let's hope it doesn't get copyrighted. Or
Where were they? They was tucked away in a corner. So, and they was wearing dark glasses.
So Fred comes back. Oh man, that's so funny when he does that. But Fred comes back and Lamont's like, hey, you know, get out of here, Rollo. Rollo takes off and he goes, what's going on? And he's like, nothing, you know, I'm going to bed. And he's like, you going to bed? I thought you weren't going to be here. He said, I got a date. He's like, wait a minute. Fred's like, you got a date? He's like, yeah, I got a date with Donna. Or not, I'm sorry, Donna. He's like, what? You got a date with Donna? That's my Donna. So, my Dolly. That's why I always think of Dolly, sorry. You know, it's so funny as Sanford and Son fans. We hear things, I'll hear things out in public, and you instantly, the lines click. If I hear Dolly, I think of, oh, Dolly, baby, you know, and or Donna, you got to have your money back to you by Tuesday, BB. I mean, there's so many references that pop in our heads, so it's hard to not get them jumbled. But as that happens, he's like, I got a date with Judy Ann. And he's like, you got a date with Judy Ann? He's like, no, that's fine. I can take off. I got a date with Donna, you know? And he's like, you got a date with Donna? So they're both pumped. They're both excited. And they were going to have that talk. Remember the birds, you know, basically the talk Fred wishes he'd had with them. And now he's like, forget it. We don't need that talk. And then Judy Ann comes over and they sit down. And that's when he says, he sings it. Let's look at the clip right here, what Fred does.
I can't tell you who to suck it to.
Yeah, so it's a great ending. He goes off to go with Donna. He's there with Judy Ann, has a great night, and we don't have to worry about anybody having to talk or being paranoid about the gay blade. So we know at the end, Rollo comes and he's got tickets and to another skin flick, and Fred takes him and he's like, meow. He does the cat cry to go to the kitty cat theater. I believe that's how the woman cries, but that's how it ends. Great episode. Yes, 8.2. It is, when it's uncut, even when it was cut out, watching it, it was just more of a, wait, what? It was more of a frustration out of, dude, you're taking out the original cut. You know, it's not like, I can't get into it. This is not a political channel. This is not a channel where we're going to debate those things and bring up. I'm just telling you from a perspective as a white man who's on this, if I hear or see something where they portray whites as dumb, they portray whites as slow, they have insults towards them, they make it look like we, you know, white cultures, any of that, I don't take offense to it, because some of those stereotypes are true sometimes, but we're all different. We're all not the same. You know, a stereotype doesn't mean you are that. It just means a chunk or a majority of people are that. And that's part of the funny part of a joke. And if you can't laugh at yourself or your culture, right? Because we're all, to me, and I know here I go, not political, this is biblical. There was one race. There was one race, the human race. And I am the exact same as any person in the show of Sanford's in History. We come from the same thing. We are the same people. And that's just my belief. You know, you can comment if you don't believe, you think I'm a lunatic. If you think we came from some explosion, fine. Whatever the case may be, you can believe what you want. But I'm just saying, in the end, we're all the same. And it's just cultures that are different. And so some people, whatever. And that's why I think you shouldn't remove things with comedy. You know, you can't change serious stuff and you can't change things from the past. Forget it. I talk too much about it. This is the Sanford and Son channel. It's one of the best, not just of season 3, but one of the top 20 of all time in show history. I mean, Lamont, is that you? Comment below. I guarantee you someone will say this is one of their favorite episodes. And even when it's edited, it is still very funny. You know, they did not leave out any key parts, so I can see why they said, hey, we don't need that in there. You can still make great comedy, but there's still things in there that I guarantee you there's still stuff now that would be offensive. Sissy bar, you know, someone's going to take offense to that. But in the end, it's just a comedy. It's just a joke. And don't watch it. If you don't like it, don't watch it. If there's something I don't like, I don't watch it. So that's it. That's my take on that. But in the end, this is, like I said, a Sanford and Son channel, and we're going to talk about every part of Sanford and Son. And I continue to do shorts. Go check them out. I'm putting out shorts now, different from where I just show clips about episodes, more about facts that people might not know, because I'm trying to spread the knowledge, share things, and get it out in the community so more and more people can learn about Sanford and Son and the history behind these wonderful people. From LaWanda Page to Damon Wilson to Red Fox to Whitman Mayo to Don Bexley. These are people that, if you are a diehard fan, they shaped part of your life. You know, I have watched hundreds of hours of Sanford and Son. People who have watched thousands who were around from the 70s watching it. That is a big part of us, and you almost feel like they're family. So look for more shorts I'm putting about trying to teach things out there. You might even see something you don't know. Have a great week. We'll see you Friday. This is it. Championship is here for our best of season 2. we're going to have Rated X, bam, going against the Card Sharps, bam. It's hard for me to choose because I love them both, but I think in the end, the Rated X is, like, there's nothing bad. Both of them are 10 out of 10 when it comes to humor. I think the swinging vote for me personally is the Card Sharps. I love Hucklebuck. I love Skeeter Matthews, and I really like Rooster. Rooster didn't get as much play as the other two, but all three of them are outstanding. And the actor who played Rooster, he's still alive. Go check that video. You'll see we talk about him and everything that's going on in his life. He is still with us today and still producing and filming and things. So, but yeah, with that, comment below what is your favorite of season 2, X-rated or Card Sharps. It'll be up tonight when you see this video. Be sure to vote on that and share it with others. Have a great week. We will see you again, like I said, on Friday. Talk to you later. Peace.